Hi, this is Jerry for ChallengeLifeBetter.com
with David.
Tonight, in this particular session, we're talking about telomeres, the discussion about aging. In regard to telomeres, Dave, you got some questions for me?
Yeah, I've got a few questions here. First off, Dr. Peterman, what are telomeres? What are those things?
You need to find yourself a shoe that has laces in the shoe. Look at the ends of the laces and you'll see a little piece of plastic. Now, actually, there is a name for that, but I have no idea what it is. But it's to keep the shoelaces from unraveling. Well, our chromosomes are two together like this, and they're twisted together at the end, and there's some proteins that are built up on the ends, little segmented proteins on the ends. And those are called telomeres, telomeres. People say it differently. And it's at each end of the chromosomes that are used to transmit the DNA data to the next generation of cells when you have division of cells in the body. Now, as we age, it's been discovered that these little bits of proteins break off, and they continue to break off and get shorter and shorter as these chromosomes are used in the living process, until at certain points the chromosomes just become unraveled because the telomeres don't hold them together. So that's what the job of telomeres are, and that's how it can result in the death of a cell if that particular cell's telomeres fail.
Interesting.
That contributes to aging, because you're going to have a lot of that. If you were to examine the telomeres of people in nursing homes, you'd find that there's a lot of discarded material because it's come apart. We just come apart at the seams, if you will.
Okay, so you're saying that each time it reproduces within the DNA, it gets shorter. So is that how it affects aging in itself, or how does that process actually affect the aging?
Well, as it breaks off, then eventually the chromosomes are not held together anymore, and they can't be useful.
Apart.
Yeah,
okay.
Can't be useful, and the cell dies.
That was one of the questions.
So that can have something to do with aging. Now, how does this have to do with, in other words, what influences that? I would say that the health of the human cell, to begin with, the environment that the chromosomes find themselves in, has a lot to do with that. Is the material they're floating in, is that conducive to the telomeres living a long time? Are they going to continue to break off, or are they going to be stay the same, or could they even be added to? There's some research now that says some of the telomeres can actually be lengthened again.
Wow.
So that means that we could begin to do some anti-aging in that sense. That comes back to the health of the cell, and that comes back to mitochondria, and mitochondria keeps the cells healthy. So it's all tied in together. There's not one thing that's, oh, you're going to get old because your telomeres all broke off. Okay, well, yeah, but you're going to get old too because you didn't take care of your mitochondria, which then was not conducive for healthy telomeres.
So that's interesting that you mentioned that. That kind of coincides with the next question. Are telomeres permanently one length or the other by creation or by genetics, or how does that work?
They essentially start out at a certain length. And as I've explained in a couple of other videos, we have a human cycle of cell division over our entire lifetimes of about 62 times. And so that comes out to be about every 2 years, which puts us around 120 years of projected lifespan. I personally think that could be exceeded quite a bit if we are able to reset the clock. And part of the clocking mechanism has to do with, for example, restriction of calories, calorie intake restriction. You can lengthen life up to 20% easily by restricting calories, or if you can turn off SIRT1 gene switches, which makes the body think that you're close to starvation, and it gives your body extra abilities to live longer. That's a possibility, but that's pretty much where we are on that.
Okay, and then I know you mentioned sleep is a big factor as well, right?
Yeah, why is sleep such a big factor?
Well, you were talking about how sleep, the brain and the body's idea of sleep is for reconstruction, repairing, detoxifying, correct?
That's exactly what it is. There is such a universal concept. Everybody sleeps. Virtually every kind of creature sleeps. There's almost no one or nothing out there that doesn't sleep. Well, it's that repair mode. It's that take it to the shop overnight and get the repairs made so the next morning everything is running well. And that's really what we have to do. Now, how does that affect aging? There was a study done in England several years ago. I think it was 18,000 people, and they discovered that the average night's sleep should be about 7 hours. If you get less than 6 or more than 8, the people at those ends seem to suffer the same kinds of consequences. More heart disease, more heart failure, more cancer, more degradation of the human body. And yet 7 seem to be just about right. Have you ever overslept or slept a long time more than you're used to? Your body is then doped with endorphins, and you walk around in a fog all day. You just feel listless. If you sleep too little, you walk around and you might hurt a little bit. Your muscles might hurt a little bit. Well, they really would hurt a little bit because you didn't take out the garbage overnight. In other words, the lymphatic system didn't pump out all of the lactic acid and the various other debris that happens with this thing called life. And when you sleep, that trash needs to be taken out using the lymph system. Okay. So if you get it out of your body, then your body is not toxified, and you can go and have a wonderful, new, fresh day. And that contributes to living longer.
There you go. So that's pretty much how telomeres work then. Okay.
Telomeres are degraded by lack of sleep. They're degraded by lack of proper hydration, poor, absolutely horrible food. There was a gentleman that actually ate nothing but fast food for 30 days, and he gained a huge amount of weight and nearly died just eating fast food. And he wrote a book about it. Everybody writes a book about something, but this guy wrote a book about it, and it was shocking how much the body degraded during this 30-day period. So let's look at the body as something precious to take care of, because we really don't have one hanging in the closet that we can change into later. I mean, scientists are kind of wanting to do that, but that's a little scary too. This is Jerry for ChallengeLifeBetter.com and
David.
And we are very excited to bring you commentary and look forward to getting you to hit the subscribe button. And here we go. Be well.
Be well.